and wrap this up. Because like I said, it just can go on and on. You know. So we know that the primordial beginnings is symbolized by the Divine Mother, known as, one of her names would be Tiamat, another name would be Aditi. And I feel that the energy of this aspect, or an aspect of Aditi, especially after working with the goddess Morgan a couple weeks ago, I did a lecture on that, but I actually didn't even post it because I made a mistake in the video, which is a lesson learned. So, and it's 4 parts on that. So, you know, it's you know, what's going on now is the awakening of the Divine Mother and her children. These children are known in certain texts as telluric entities and telluric energies that the church and the religions and all these things are scared of. Therefore, they call them the devil enemies, Lucifer, Satan, and all this type of stuff. When in actuality, these are the saviors that's going to basically free us from the trappings of this system surrounding the soul, which is awakening in its temple. You see what I'm saying? And the kingdom is within. That's Luke 17:21. It's in your Bible. You can't fight me against. I mean, what you gonna say? That it's not? It's within and without. It's everywhere. See what I'm saying? The divine spark is within. So this is from the book Secret Doctrine, Volume 1. It's going to go into the Divine Mother and creation and things like that. The tetrad, which means fourfold, shows to Marcus the truth in the shape of a naked woman and letters every limb of that figure, calling her head. As you see, these are the symbols. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure that's Alpha. I mean Omega. Her neck is I don't know what that is. Looks like an eye with the hands raised up. So that's the Ka. Shoulders and hands is another symbol, and then the X, etc., etc. In this Sephirah is easily recognized the crown, Keter, or head, being numbered 1. The brain of Chokmah, the heart, or number 2, the heart, or intelligence, which is Bina. And on the Kabbalah, Saturn is in the sphere Bina. 3. And the other 7, Sephiroth, representing the limbs of the body. The Sephiroth, or tree, is the universe, and Adam Kadmon represents it, the universe. In the West, which is over here, as Brahma represents it in India, over there in the East. Okay? So, what I get from reading that is that over here, they would rather you, as the microcosmic Adam Kadmon, be asleep, be in the, just continuously be dead, and only parts of you they want alive is the parts that they want to operate to help build their society and their elite system around you to control you and keep you asleep, keep you reincarnating into this shit to help you keep you building the bullshit instead of destroying it and creating a whole new heaven and earth. So in the East it is Brahma, you know what I'm saying, which is, you know, in motion, which is, you know, just like over here in the West, waking up. The West also meant dead in ancient Kemet. So what we're over here basically in the underworld. The soul does not die, but in the underworld it has to go through so many processes and things like that. It's like when watching the new show, the new remake of Roots, Kunta Kinte, when he's first caught, he's in the vessel, which represents the underworld, with not only his fellow brothers from other tribes and the same tribe, his uncle, his you know, his people, but with their feces, with their urine, with their, you know, spit, with their funky, with their human, you know, body funk and everything, for weeks, months, you know, fighting for freedom, some of them jumping off the boat, just so many things. That whole scheme, the whole schematic that represents the soul in the underworld. You see what I'm saying? And I was going to do a whole nother thing on the Roots too after this, because Muhammad Ali just died. Rest in peace. Another legend after Prince. Okay. Well, in Roots, the grandson of Kunta Kinte, who was a warrior, Mandinka warrior, think about Golden State, who's about to win the mother, who has been just stomping on the competition, right? And they got two light-skinned Stephen Curry, Thompson holding it down every game, shooting the shit out of motherfuckers, and it's, excuse my French, but it's just very evident. And when I'm telling you, this is, we're dealing with spiritual, metaphysical shit, right? Your boy in Roots, Chicken George, son of Kunta Kinte's daughter. Kunta Kinte represents the Jesus aspect. His wife, Mary. Okay? Like I said, I would like to do a whole nother thing on that. Chicken George, you got to watch it, man. The way, his whole personality is Muhammad Ali. And the rooster, which represents the foundation of him being Chicken George, and his whole strive to try to make money to get his freedom, which his oldest son becomes mad at later on when he come back from England or London, which was just horrible, was so pissed off at him doing that because he basically left the family. But we know that Chicken George, because of his talent, got sent off to London to help to raise fighting chickens for another white man, another slave master who did not let him go back to America until 20 years later. I mean, just horrible. But Chicken George is a catalyst for this Muhammad Ali thing. Muhammad Ali also held the torch in one year in the Olympics. See what I'm saying? He had the torch, the Liberty torch. That represents freedom, okay? Liberty, things like that. And that's very deep, We know that Chicken George got, if you see, when you watch Roots is not about really just the slavery, man. It's about looking at the genetics and the ways that the genetics come through the human being subconsciously, unconsciously, and it's a part of who you are. A part of who he was his father, who basically raped his mother after she was taken from Kunta and his wife, her mother, right? To basically start a whole nother, thing in another plantation. Her love was killed. First love was killed, Like, she went through hell, Kizzy. It's just so much going on with that, But that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that it's not just about the slave thing, it's about him fighting the way that Chicken George did his thing, the way Muhammad Ali did his thing, right? Think about Thriller Manila, Africa, George Foreman, right? Free Man, Chicken George, Muhammad Ali, the way that they entertained, the way that they talk shit about the fighting, the way that they were. I'm telling you, that was a catalyst, man. Even Prince was a catalyst of all this root stuff coming back. Him dying with an afro on his head. We all know that he I think that didn't start until 2014 or something. Like he was going back to his roots or something. Who knows? But there's just so much going on right there. So much going on with that. This part is about to end. I'm gonna have to do a part 5 probably, because I haven't even really gotten to the gist of it. But basically saying that the tree not only represents the Adam Cadman, like hung on the cross, but the whole spirit of that and his whole energy of resurrecting is the Divine Mother, and that body is and that is the Sephiroth, or the spheres on the tree. You know what I mean? The spheres on the tree. 10 spheres. All right, and think about the 9 nails in the card number 5, Terror of the Book of Thoth. Okay, I'm gonna have to end this Come back here in a second.